What's going on, guys? Today I'm super excited for us to check out my new guitar, a custom Septor 727 from Agile Guitars. So anyone who's been here on my channel before knows, A, I'm left-handed, and B, I have quite a few guitars. This is guitar number 8 of the ones which I own currently, and it's my 10th guitar overall. I worked up from the most basic up to high-end full custom guitars, such as my Evolution 8-string by Zen Stringed Instruments. So I have experience ranging from starter guitars up to dream guitars. I feel this is necessary to accomplish what I want to in these reviews, and I feel like this guitar is the perfect place for me to start. In my opinion, at the end of the day, a guitar is a tool which a player uses to create music and express themselves. The most important thing that a guitar can be is effective. If the guitar doesn't get in your way or somehow hinder you from playing and creating music, it's getting off on the right foot. Everything beyond that is what should make the guitar special. To me, this is where the true value of these instruments are. My high-end custom guitar does not function exponentially better than this mid-price instrument, but it does have some attention to detail, features, and customization that this one does not. My point being that a high-end guitar will not make you a high-end guitar player. I don't even think it's the most important thing in your overall tone. Does it play a part? Absolutely. But my advice to everyone is to know what you're paying for and why you want something before you invest in it. Now that that's out of the way, I'm going to explain the aspects of the guitar which I'll be basing my review on. Playability, tone, aesthetics, features, and value. Playability. How easy is this guitar to play? This includes fret access, tuning stability, the comfort when it's held, weight, neck feel, fret leveling, and balance. Tone. How does the guitar sound? Is it flexible? This will often be very dependent on pickups, though wood choice, shape, and weight of the guitar do play into this as well. Aesthetics. How eye-catching is the guitar? How is the finish/paint job? Are there any nicks, dings, or irregularities in the guitar? Features. What does this guitar do or have that others can't or don't? I'm talking about locking tuners, coil tapping or coil splitting, an overtuned bridge, kill switches, etc., that sort of thing. And value. How much was the instrument and what are you getting with each dollar that you spend on it? I'll include a picture of the spec sheet on the screen, but I'll also do a quick run through and talk about anything notable here as well. For this guitar, I chose a white gloss finish on an ash body with black binding with a headstock matching the body. The guitar is equipped with standard non-locking tuners and it has a one-piece neck that I think is super cool. A one-piece mahogany neck that I think is super cool. The majority of my other guitars have had glossy maple necks and I wanted to do something darker. This worked out very well and I really like that I can feel the grain of the wood in some places on the neck. It has a very nice natural feel to it. I asked for their slim neck, and while it's not Ibanez thin, it's certainly no older Schecter neck either. I do enjoy those Schecter necks, but I did want this guitar to have a slim neck, so I found it to be a nice medium. An ebony fretboard with a 12 through 16 inch compound radius that I don't really notice, but I'll discuss that more later. Stainless steel frets that look and feel really nice and are polished extremely well. A standard burl maple top and Cepheus passive pickups and a fixed bridge. Playability. When the guitar first arrived, I was very happy to find that it had a very, very nice setup. It wasn't quite in tune, but that much is pretty much normal. Regardless of that, the guitar was immediately very easy to pick up and play. The string height is low enough to be very comfortable, to play chords and fast lines easily, yet it has no buzzed or dead frets. Upper fret access is good. You can reach the 24th fret with no problems, but there are guitars with better access, such as my Zen, which has 27 frets and completely unhindered access to all of them. As I said, the neck profile is pretty moderate. It's not Ibanez thin, but it's not quite as meaty as my Septor's. The fret edges are not perfectly rolled off, but you can only just feel them if you're looking for them. But it's definitely nothing sharp and nothing that I noticed while I was playing. Tuning stability is good. I didn't have to stop and tune between takes while I was recording the demo. I imagine the locking tuners I'll add to this will further support this. Thus, I give playability an 8.5 out of 10, largely due to the not completely perfect frets and not completely perfect upper fret access. Not perfect, but still very good. Tone. Tone is such a subjective thing, and it's really rather hard to talk about, or even display through a video like this. At the end of the day, with technology where it is, I know that people can make huge sounding modern metal mixes with a cheap Strat knockoff if the rest of the gear is appropriate. With that being said, as you heard in the demo, I got what I think was a great end result with this guitar. I plugged it in and thought it sounded great. It's when you put the magnifying glass up to things like this that the minute differences begin to stand out. In this case, that meant comparing the dry guitar signal between this guitar and my Agile Legacy, which has been upgraded with the Seymour Duncan Pegasus Sentient set, which is as of now my favorite one. Here's a clip of that. The guitars are plugged into my Helix with only a compressor and a chain for some added volume. To me, the guitar with the Pegasus in it sounds brighter and feels more full of life is how I would describe it. This doesn't mean the Septor sounds bad, not at all. I would just describe it as feeling flat and a little bassy. This can be considered a good thing for some styles, and it makes it a decent starting point to build tones around, but I'm absolutely going to replace these pickups. I already have a Guitar Marie Orion bridge on the way that I will pair with an ionizer that I have laying around here for the neck. So regardless, yeah, a pickup swap is definitely in order, and I'll make a before and after comparison for that. Tone, as it is, gets a 6.8 out of 10 for me. Entirely usable and flexible, definitely not ideal. Aesthetics, a category which is largely subjective. Here I'm going to base the score on what it is against what it could have been based on the specs, along with a focus on attention to detail. Looking at it as a whole, I think the guitar looks great. They executed on the color scheme very well. I don't imagine that anyone who wants a matte finish would have any issues with this. The black trim on white looks as classy as I had hoped, and the mahogany neck looks and again feels really, really nice for what it is. I'm also really happy with how the ash body looks from the back. What I'm not nearly as happy with is the burl maple top veneer. Come on, it's not really a huge deal. These are there largely to look good. I don't really care how thick it is. The top is not as visible as I would have liked it to be, nor does the burl cover as much of the body as I would have liked. I do appreciate the recessed knobs and pickup selector though, along with the appearance of the hardware itself. Also, the stainless steel frets are a great touch. They're highly reflective and just look bright, which I like a lot. Again, putting the magnifying glass up to it, I'm largely happy again. There are no dents, cuts, scrapes, or paint spills or anything like that anywhere to be found. Generally. The only imperfections that I could find are what appear to be little paint nicks where the binding meets the body in a few spots. Again, you have to be super close to see them, but they are indeed there. Aesthetics gets an 8.2 out of 10 for me for being largely free of any issues and displaying a generally strong attention to detail. They flubbed very, very minor things on the binding, and the top was mildly disappointing, but it works very well for what it is. This guitar is pretty much as bare bones as it really gets nowadays in this market. Realize that I'm reviewing this guitar, which I chose the specs of. Although honestly, the Agile Customizer isn't really super feature rich anyway. It has no options for coil splitting or even locking tuners. The main features I got on this guitar and were charged for was a 27-inch scale, which to me is just standard for 7 strings, an ash body, which I do like, but would not spend $75 on again, stainless steel frets, worth, and a compound radius, which to me is not immediately obvious, but it may be subtly contributing to the great playability and action on the guitar. In this category, I'm also considering the value of the features and what was charged for them, leaving me to give the guitar a 3 out of 10 in this category. It's always a bummer when there's an upcharge for a lefty, and the higher end companies that offer them are moving away from this. Value. Again, I'm looking at this guitar. With a base price of $900 for the most basic of Septors, along with a free case, there's definitely space to build a great guitar or an awesome modding platform for around $1,000. Their custom select option seems to be even better for those on a tighter budget who want a great guitar with customized looks. Those options begin at $400. At the end of the day, I paid the full custom price largely to get the things that I hadn't had in a guitar before, to include an ash body, stainless steel frets, and I really did want this black binding. These, along with a much faster projected turnaround time, are the main things I spent the extra money for in this guitar. Personally, I'm glad that I did go this route, largely for the aesthetics. I fully believe that this guitar will become a favorite following the pickup swap. However, I certainly wouldn't have gone with the ash body on this if I could do it all again. Really, looking back, I probably would have gotten a custom select and just done white with a black burst for a similar effect, and paid probably half of what I did for this guitar. The option of stainless steel frets and the overall quality of the build is what saves this guitar for me. But if you want a quality custom guitar on a tight budget and price or value is a large part of what you care about, I have to recommend Custom Select, assuming that their quality is equal to my 2 Agile guitars so far, which is not guaranteed. I may have to give that a try for myself. So the value of this guitar for me is a 6.5 out of 10, slightly below average, but saved by a strong build quality and the inclusion of a fairly nice hard shell case. That leaves this guitar with a final score of 33 out of 50 for 66%. I look at this score and feel that it doesn't do it the justice of how I personally feel about it. I'm very happy with the guitar and will personally give it a B+ for as far as how satisfied that I am with it. But I can't pretend that Custom Select doesn't appear to be a much greater value for the money. If I adjusted the scale to weigh heavier on the quality of the build to include the playability and stability, the things which make the basis of a great guitar, this instrument would have scored way better. Suffice to say, I can't wait to put new pickups in here, and I'm going to be very happy to have locking tuners on it as well. The pricing model is what killed this guitar for me based on my baseline scale. Thank you for checking out this video. I post new content at least once every 2 weeks, and still have lots of stuff to show you guys. If there's anything in particular that you would like to see on this channel, feel free to comment it down below, along with any questions, comments, or suggestions you might have. I would love to grow this channel and continue to be able to do this stuff, along with perhaps increasing my output. If you care to support that, all I ask for is a like, a sub, and a share if you're feeling really generous. Thank you all, and take care until the next time.